It was at least 20 years ago when I took the paint off of this Lionel shell. At some point, it must have been orange, although I don't remember any kind of orange ALCOs offered by Lionel. This one's an older model, but I never got around to repainting it. The shell is pretty much prepped and ready to go. I repaired a small crack in the nose, but otherwise, it just needs some paint. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I like the movie Silver Streak, and this color that I'm using is from Rust-Oleum. It's called Apple Red. When it dries, it'll be very nice, glossy, and durable. This is the first coat. I'll wait maybe 30 or 45 minutes before I do the second coat, and that should be it. Even though this is an O-gauge train, I had to buy a decal kit for an HO scale train. This Lionel unit is a bit smaller than any kind of O scale train, so the HO size decals should work pretty well. The decal softener that I applied with the brush will allow the decal to conform to that raised area on the side of the shell. When it's dry and pushed into place, you will think that it was painted on. It's that good. And these decals are that good too. This is where you can tell that the decal softener did its job. That decal is wrapped right into each little crevice and right over the edge of that molded area. It looks like paint. I didn't include video of me actually doing it, but I masked off these areas on the nose of the shell and sprayed them a nice glossy white. I saved the nose stripe decals for last because they made me the most nervous. I decided to use some leftover stripes from my O scale model, and I need to use two pieces. And the part that worries me is being able to match them up in the middle, right underneath the headlight, to form, I guess that would be like an A, where the two pieces are going to meet. A chevron maybe. I was pretty worried still. This side went well so far, and believe it or not, the other side actually turned out pretty darn sweet also. They match up nicely in the middle, and they begin right over the white area that was masked off and painted earlier. I think it looks pretty cool. Here's something else that I've had for decades. It's been sitting in my closet. It's a set of ALCO diesels from the MPC era of Lionel's production back in the 1970s. These are pretty nice. I do like Amtrak. I never run these. One thing that always bothered me though were the way that the couplers poke through the lower part of the nose of each engine. I know they did this so that it could manage the 027 curves, but I just didn't think it looked very realistic. I've never taken this apart before, but it looks like the tab in the front and the screw in the back match up pretty well with my post-war shell that I redecorated for AMROAD. It seems like this clip is the only thing holding the truck to the frame. Once I get this apart, I'll be able to decide if I can remove that front coupler and use this frame on my recently redecorated shell. Just these two screws hold that coupler in place. They both come out, and eventually the coupler itself does too. I'll save this, I'll put it back in the box with the dummy Amtrak unit, reinstall these screws because I would lose them for sure if I didn't, and then I'll check out and see if this matches up with my older shell, my freshly repainted older shell. The C-clip goes back into place, it's not too difficult, and then it's time to see if these two pieces go together. I had a reproduction horn left over from one of my Williams restorations. With a little bit of shaving, it fit. And then I borrowed the headlamp lens from the Amtrak shell, and it too just snaps into place. Now that the front coupler is gone, it's a perfect fit. The old shell goes right on top of the more modern frame. The screw goes right where it was on the Amtrak logo, and I think I'm just about finished. I didn't try to remove the cab glass from the Amtrak shell. That was glued into place, and I had a pretty good feeling that it would crack if I forced it. So I will just leave these windows empty for a while, until maybe I can find some replacement parts available on eBay to fill in those blank windows. But here's the finished unit. I think it turned out really good. If Lionel had made a promotional unit for the movie Silver Streak, maybe it would have looked like this. I'm pretty proud of this one. I like it a lot. I hope you do too. I like the nose of the older molding much better than this one from the MPC era. It's functional, but I really don't think there's any comparison. Although I will say, the color schemes complement each other pretty well. Red and white, red, silver, and black. They would look natural together in a rail yard somewhere, or maybe on my display shelf. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, this has been Bob's Workshop. Take care.